Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to the center of Moscow. Yes, I'm right here in the absolute center of Moscow, and we're gonna go check out the newly reopened Stars Coffee. Now, why am I standing behind a burger restaurant, you wonder? Let's go find out, shall we? Now, for anyone watching the video and kind of curious about the Starbucks, now we're gonna get to that in a few minutes, but first, I just want to give you a little bit of background about the guy and I guess his business partner that has acquired all of the Starbucks locations. Now, this place right in front of me is called Black Star Burger. Now, if that name kind of sounds familiar, Star Burger, Black Star Burger, then we've got Star Coffee. So basically, one of the partners, or the major partner in the buyout of the Starbucks franchises, is a guy called Timu Yonisov. Now, he actually is a musician, I guess rapper, entertainer who goes by Timati. Now, if you don't know him, I'll flash a picture right up on the screen so you can get an idea. Now, the whole point I've come down to this Black Star Burger is the first location in Russia, and in Moscow for that fact, is just down the street. Now, this is basically a bit of a kind of food, dining, restaurant, cafe strip right here. And literally they're 200 meters apart. So I thought I'd come here first, check this out, and then we'll walk down now and check out the Stars Coffee Shop. So in terms of burger places, Black Star Burgers is very famous, okay, for the fact that Timati is the owner. But basically when you order your burger and fries and drink, they serve it to you, of course, on a plate and things like that, but they give you some black gloves. So you basically eat your burger with black gloves on, and your fingers don't get dirty and smelly, and you can go about your business afterwards. You just take your gloves off, they throw them in the trash, and you can go about your day. So these black gloves are kind of famous with Black Star Burger, and the whole theme of the restaurant, you can see the coloring. Now, just to give you an idea of where we are in Moscow here, we're probably about 10-15 minutes from Red Square, and this is actually called New Arbat Street. So probably more famously for tourists that come to Moscow, they know old Arbat streets, but this is the new one, which is actually right alongside of kind of very busy highway on the left-hand side there. And then dotted along on the right here is a whole series of cafes, bars, lounges, burger places, any sorts of food and dining. Obviously it's the height of summer now, so people kind of love coming out in this weather and doing outdoor dining. So yeah, it's a kind of a very busy location. It's not ideal. It's not, you know, really beautiful to sit here with all the traffic constantly going past, but it's kind of a little bit of a place to be seen at the same time. Quite often you'll see football stars here, musicians, actors. They just sort of sit in these outdoor cafes and kind of want to be seen. Now, roughly between the 200 meters between Black Star Burger and the Stars Cafe is a place called Red Box here. Now, there's a couple of very big looking Russian dudes right here on each entrance of this place. Now, we're not going to mess going in there, of course, but there was just a guy sitting there who I don't know who he is, was getting photos from some giggling and laughing girls. But the whole point of just pointing out Red Box here is the other business partner of Timati. His name's Anton Pinsky. And this is actually his cafe, or part of his chain of kind of brands, if you like. So kind of sandwiched in between the two, Black Star Burgers and Stars Coffee is the business partner of Timati right here. Now I'm back home now and I'm working on the video here, and I just want to jump in for a second because the next clip you'll see is of the Red Box restaurant, but there's a table right there on the corner with a couple of guys having lunch, and it turns out that that was actually Timati and Anton Pinsky, which are the two co-owners of Stars Coffee. Now those two big Russian dudes, they were their bodyguards, and I didn't really know it right at the time who they were. I mean, I know these two people, you know who they are, but I didn't know they were literally where I was making the video. So let's cut to the next scene, and you'll see them right there in front of me as I'm talking about the Red Box restaurant, and then we walk down to Stars Coffee. Now it's kind of interesting, I was just talking about Red Box before I got down here, and how on this street you see a lot of famous people. And there's a guy sitting there on that first table in a white shirt. I'm not sure who he is, but everyone keeps coming up to him for photographs. So again, it's the place to be seen. And I'm fairly sure whoever he is, these two guys are his bodyguards, because these guys wouldn't be at this cafe in normal times. And these two guys you don't want to mess with on a Thursday afternoon, I can assure you. Now, the original Starbucks opened back in Russia back in 2007, and it closed about 4 months ago, give or take, depending on the location. And this is the first one to open back in Russia, right here on New Arbat Street. Now, there is a little bit of a kind of meaning behind this one opening and all the others around Moscow, because of the fact Black Star Burger's on the same street, Red Box is on the same street, and then Pinsky and Timati are the kind of joint owners of the place. So they've acquired all 130 stores in one kind of buy, or bulk buy, I guess you would call it. And they're going to gradually open them, and they're even going to want to expand the brand. So they'll basically create their own Stars Coffee brand. Kind of works well, I think. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are just going to think, oh, they just changed the spelling of the word, but when you reference the other brands that Timati owns, it does make sense. Now, for all the fans of Starbucks out there, I thought I'd show you the logo a little bit closer up. Now, there's two ladies sitting right here in front of the window, and they think they're in the shot, but have a look at the logo closely. Now, I'm going to actually just see if I can put a side by side. So I'm just going to go like this for the sake of editing. Now, the lady right here is wearing a kokoshnik, which is a traditional Russian headdress, I guess we'd call it, with the star on right there. So rather than the original Starbucks logo, they've just slightly changed it. And of course, Stars Coffee. So just looking at the line here, this is the first day opening. This is Thursday afternoon. So they opened a little bit earlier today. I got here a little bit late, but it's still interesting. You know, the line of people, I reckon it's about 50, maybe 60 people waiting to get in. I guess these are the real true Starbucks lovers that have kind of, for 3 or 4 months, have missed out on coming here, and they want to get their fix, I guess you would call it. So you can definitely see here the amount of people waiting in line. It's not too long a line once you're inside the door, though. It literally kind of just snakes in the entrance, and then they've kind of left the whole cafe kind of empty so that all the tables and chairs can be taken up. And as usual, a lot of people who like to go to Starbucks like to get their laptops open, their Apple Macs, and I don't know, do you say you're doing work when you come here, or are you coming for coffee and just hanging out? So there's the line right there. It's got a little bit longer since I've been here. So I'm kind of curious what everyone thinks about this. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash in the comments, because that's happened when I did the new opening of the McDonald's, the Kuzny Tochka. So, you know, is this basically just ripping off the name and opening a new location? I mean, that again is sort of down to every individual person. You know, I'm sure there's even people that are big Timati fans, the musician, and they want to come to his cafe because maybe he's kind of been wanting to do this for a little while, and this opportunity came up to buy everything all in and sort of take them over. Now, here's something quite interesting on the stores above it. There's kind of like a little bit of a mini mall right above it, and there's a Reebok and Adidas store that's closed due to the self-sanctioning that they've imposed on themselves. It's kind of just the irony of it when you walk around Moscow and Moscow Center, that, you know, all these stores that choose to close, and then right below it, they're reopening. Now, when I heard that these guys were opening today, I was curious which location it was, and I had to kind of search it out. And someone told me about this merry-go-round here, or carousel, right next to it. So if anyone's seen any other news reports or TV reports already, I think this carousel might have featured in it, but you can just see Stars Coffee right behind. Okay, everybody, so for the sake of the content of YouTube, and being that it's the first day open here on Thursday in Moscow, Russia, I'm going to line up specially for you now. I'm a little bit out of place here, but let's go inside, and hopefully I'm not asleep by the time I get my coffee. Okay, so I finally got inside and got through the line to get my drink. It's really very busy inside now. They've got a bit of music playing, of course. I think overall, it's a very positive atmosphere in here. I mean, in a couple of weeks from now, will it be still this busy? I don't know. I think so. I guess as all the other locations eventually open up, you know, there'll be less fanfare, but this being considered their flagship store for all the next 130 locations going forward, it's very good. And this is still the first day, so we're a little bit later on than when we were lining up now, but yeah, there's plenty of people. It's going pretty quickly. I mean, most people are doing takeaway. There's not too many people. You know, there's only maybe about 30 people in the whole cafe sitting down. Most people are just getting their drink and leaving, so all good. Yeah, I mean, I'll see if I can get a little bit closer to the cabinets and just do a little bit of an overview of the menu. Now, being that my Russian skills aren't as great as they should be, all the menus in Russian, but I'm pretty sure that Americano, latte, mocha, I think these are all pretty much the same words in English and Russian, but there's also a small food menu here. It's not very extensive. They've got kind of like bagel sandwiches. There's also salads. There's croissants. There's not an extensive menu. There's some chocolate-covered cookies up there as well. So it's a little bit loud in here, you know. It's a little bit full on, but there's a lot of yelling. But I think that's just the way they kind of want to create the atmosphere in here. But you know, it's very well organized, really. Apart from the fact there's a bit of a line, but you know, you place your order over here. They write the name on the cup like they would do, and then you got the baristas over here, kind of basically churning out the coffees, and they're working. They're getting their money's worth today for sure. And then all the people waiting for their drinks over on this side. I think there's definitely a fascination with everybody wanting to take a photo of the logo. Because the fact there's a Russian girl in the Stars Coffee logo now, and she's got that traditional Russian hat on as well. There's obviously that Russian sort of flavor to the place now, you know. It's Starbucks has gone from that American brand to now this Russian in-house kind of coffee shop. Then having a look at the refrigerated section here, there's some nice cakes, there's some wraps. These are all pretty normal kind of cafe kind of foods, some croissants, there's some nice cookies and cakes here, and there's even some like heat and eat meals over here as well, so still plenty of choices. And then we'll see the menu there just off at the back. It's kind of a digital menu. I mean, have a look at these ladies here, they're just writing up all the names. And the whole funny thing is, when you come here, you're meant to give them like a fake name. So they write some strange name on your cup. And then when the other girl calls it out, she just reads the name that you've written. So if you put like Superman or Incredible Hulk, that's what they'll call out. So yeah, we'll get our coffee and give you a bit of a debrief outside. So it's a little while later now, and there's still plenty of people. This is actually quite a busy street anyway, so on top of the people lining up here. Now, it's, I guess it was around about 15 minutes from the point that I stood at the very back to getting inside. It's moving quite quickly, you know what I mean? They've got plenty of staff in there taking orders. So there's definitely a sort of certain clientele to everybody here. This young, phone-holding, Instagram-loving kind of crowd. You're not getting the kind of very typical middle of Russia kind of person coming in here for sure. You know, it's not a cheap place for a coffee at the end of the day. So you've really got to kind of love the place to want to line up. Actually, I think the line's probably now maybe about 20, maybe 30-minute line. Now, I wonder for everybody if they can make any reference about the name here. So Stars Coffee. Now, for obviously a lot of people around the world who know Starbucks, they'd sort of think that, oh, they've just changed the name, they've took a few words off the spelling, a few letters. But basically, Timati and Pinsky, the two guys that are kind of the majority owners, if you like, or partners in the business. These guys are obviously stars in their own right. They're musicians. Part of their chain of other stores that Pinsky has, which is the Red Box, they have a lot of star chefs and guys that create the menus. So basically, Stars Coffee is because of the reference of the owners, not Starbucks coffee like we know. So I hope that makes sense if you can kind of work out how I'm explaining it. And that's where the name Stars Coffee came from. Okay, everybody, so I'm going to hold the coffee cup up as I do the ending of the video now. I really hope it's not too long. I'm praying that I didn't film too much, but Stars Coffee, I think you've done a great job now. I did get to meet a couple of people that work in the store, and actually one of the managers that runs the whole place, and he gave me some sort of good info about the whole business and brand, and about Timati and about Pinsky. So, I mean, overall, as a non-coffee drinker, I mean, the one that I got was very nice. I mean, I don't drink a lot of coffee, so I can't give you that exact, it was better, it was worse, it was hotter, it was colder kind of thing, but overall, I mean, it's got a great vibe in the cafe. Of course, it's a little bit busy, but over time, the kind of lines will die off a little bit. But I think, personally, I mean, I don't know how you guys are kind of watching the video and think backwards about it, but I think there's obviously a little bit of star power in Timati owning this brand now, and I think that's going to help Stars Coffee going forward and having, you know, having success in Russia. I mean, there's 129 more locations to open, of course, but Stars Coffee, so far, so good. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Traveling with Russell here in Moscow, and right in Moscow Center today. This is New Arbat Street. I hope you've liked this video. Give me your opinions in the comments. Let me know what you think. You know, it's really kind of an interesting situation, I guess. This is quite different to the opening of Kuznetsy Tochka, if I compare place for place. So yeah, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. I can't do the thumbs up now. I've got the coffee cup in my hand still. So yeah, post a comment, like and subscribe the channel, and I'll see you again. Bye, everybody.